Japan is known for its rich culture, technological advancements, and low crime rates. But there's a darker side to this society, one that doesn't often make it to travel brochures. Street harassment and groping, particularly on public transportation, is a daily reality for many women in Japan. And shockingly, it's an issue that's often ignored or downplayed. Today, we'll take a look at why street harassment has become so normalized in Japan and what's being done to combat it. Every day, millions of people in Japan commute on packed trains, particularly in cities like Tokyo and Osaka. Unfortunately, for many women, these crowded spaces come with a risk of being harassed or groped by strangers. Known as chikan in Japanese, this form of harassment is disturbingly common, with reports indicating that a large percentage of women have experienced it at least once. In a recent survey, nearly 70% of women reported that they had been groped on public transportation at some point in their lives. Despite the prevalence, many cases go unreported, as victims often feel ashamed or feel they won't be taken seriously. But why is street harassment seen as normal in a country that's known for its politeness and safety? One reason lies in cultural norms. Japanese society places a high value on harmony and avoiding confrontation, which often leads people to ignore or overlook incidents that might disrupt public peace. Social expectations can make it difficult for victims to speak up, as they may fear embarrassment or feel responsible for not protecting themselves. This cultural avoidance of conflict can mean that harassment, even when witnessed by others, goes ignored, creating an environment where it continues unchecked. Public transportation is a central part of life in Japan, and the extreme crowding creates conditions that make harassment more common. During rush hour, trains are so packed that people are pressed together, making it easy for perpetrators to harass others without being noticed. With such heavy commuter traffic, it becomes challenging for authorities to monitor and prevent harassment. And with so many people in close proximity, victims may feel trapped, unable to escape or confront the situation. In these conditions, perpetrators can act without fear of consequences, especially knowing that victims are unlikely to speak up. For many women, the experience of harassment can be traumatic. Victims often describe feeling ashamed, frustrated, and powerless. Speaking up about it can feel like a risk. In a culture that values conformity, standing out by complaining can bring stigma. As a result, countless incidents go unreported, and women simply endure the harassment in silence. Some women have shared stories of reporting incidents only to be dismissed by authorities or to face blame, further discouraging others from coming forward. This silence perpetuates a cycle where harassment is minimized and rarely addressed openly. In recent years, there have been efforts to address this issue. Many cities, including Tokyo, have introduced women-only cars on trains during peak hours to provide a safer space for female commuters. These cars are a popular option, but they aren't available on every line and don't operate all day. The government and rail companies have also launched awareness campaigns, putting up posters and signs warning against chikan behavior. Some apps allow people to report incidents anonymously, and police have set up undercover officers to catch perpetrators. However, while these efforts help, they're not enough to eliminate the problem. Ultimately, tackling street harassment in Japan requires a deeper cultural change. Increased awareness, especially among younger generations, is starting to shift attitudes, but there's still a long way to go. Encouraging open discussions about harassment, creating stricter consequences for perpetrators, and promoting empathy and support for victims are crucial steps. For true change, society needs to recognize harassment as a serious issue that deserves attention, not something to be ignored or dismissed. Only then can Japan create a safer environment for everyone. Street harassment is an issue that affects women worldwide, but in Japan, it's a problem that's often overlooked. By shedding light on this reality, we can support efforts for change and raise awareness about the experiences of those affected. No one should feel unsafe just trying to get to work or school. If you found this video eye-opening, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue to have these conversations and push for safer, more inclusive societies worldwide. Thanks for watching. Thanks for